Instructor. I teach teens and adults. I wanted to go through some information that I went through several years ago in my professional development training, and I think it will open our eyes to driver training guidelines for advanced driver assist systems. And let's go ahead and talk about this. The first area I want to talk about is backgrounds. The development of new driving systems such as lane departure, adaptive cruise control are not new. But eventually, these elements will come down and be in driver's education cars because typically cars are 5, 7, 10 years old. After all, we're driving adults and teens who do drive very hard, smack into curbs, hit potholes, slam brakes, tailgate. They're learning. At the same time, as an instructor, I don't want them to crash the car, hurt themselves, and I want to learn at the same time. There have been a lot of advancements in driver's education that I feel teach students how to drive. We want our students to learn how to drive before they push a button and allow the car to drive for themselves. We must learn before we shift to a computer. A driving simulator is also a good idea. I'm younger than you think, but driving simulators have come a long way. I like to see some advancements in using driver simulators as part of a classroom portion. I'm talking about a triple monitor setup, AMD or Intel computer, a steering wheel, a brake where students sit down, and various driving situations, downtown driving, night driving, rain, fog. The situations we talk about in class, students learn by doing. Like many of you are watching me, if I was on a simulator, you could see what I'm doing, and then it would be more meaningful to you. I think those things should be integrated into the system, and it varies because it is expensive, but we're talking about lives of teens and adults. A significant challenge was given. We need to change the way we drive. We need to change the way we educate. We need to change, not for change's sake, but we need to change to encourage the next level and the next generation of driver's education. I'm a firm believer in that. I've always pushed technology, Kahoots, Quizlets, computer simulations. In other countries, I'm in the United States, in other countries, they do have driving simulators. And that does help. It's also more important that students learn by driving in neighborhoods, in busy streets, on main thoroughfares, in downtown heavy traffic, in light traffic, and adverse conditions. That's where the real learning will come from. As a transportation professional, a driver's education teacher, I welcome the change of season because I know my winter drivers will be more advanced and be able to handle more situations than my spring or summer or fall drivers, because I'm in a state that has cold weather. And many southern states, when they get snow, they shut down. I have a client who lives in Texas, recently visited there. They drive the same, but it's different. I-290 is different than 94 or 75 or 696 or US 131 or the 401. Wherever you are in the world, you have to learn how to drive. Whether you have a self-driving car or not, you need to learn how to drive first. Then, as advancements go on, you can adapt because cars are changing. Next. There were three major research organizations, and I'm just lightly going over this article. They patented or partnered together to examine ways drivers could be trained for the next generation of drivers. I think it's very fantastic. The critical foundation for the conduct of driver training studies was identified in the essential knowledge of the skills that could be included in training protocols. I have training protocols. We start in neighborhoods. We start in parking lots. We work on turns. Hand over hand into the turn, hand over hand out. There are multiple ways to turn the wheel. We work on speed control. Those are some of my protocols. There are others. The purpose of ADAS systems, drivers should be made aware of several factors, including overall purpose of ADS. Next, traditional training protocols evaluation. I'm more traditional training, but I'm open-minded for new technologies to encourage the next generation of drivers. Because every 2 years, I always update my certifications. I always learn new things. We want to include driver performance, attention allocation, meaning staying focused on the road. If a driver falls asleep, maybe an adaptive alarm system could be put in, meaning a camera that will watch the driver's face. If I drift off to sleep, the steering wheel will shake. Those things will come into driver's education. It will take time, but time waits for no one. Because if we're training on a 2010 and it's 2024, there's a problem. But new cars cost money, and driver's education is not always about driving the 2024, the 2025, the 2026. So I see a bit of a disconnect because I have a key. Kids are used to the push to start. P-U-S, push P-U-S-H, start S-T-A-R-T. We are driving in real traffic. It's not a controlled environment. Where these studies, they were on a controlled course. And to an extent, I drive students on a controlled course. Neighborhoods that have low traffic, low pedestrians. So in a way, I'm modeling those new protocols, but I'm human. I know certain roads. Good instructors identify certain roads to help you become better. And we always have to adapt because students are evolving. Students are changing, cars are changing. The protocols are different. The results of the study demonstrate the mode of training, presentation, behaviors, and attitudes do influence driving, meaning you're going to learn from your mom, you're going to learn from your dad, you're going to learn from your uncle. You will develop your own style. How to drive, where to drive, how to turn the wheel, how to be a good defensive driver. It varies because each of us are different. And we are still in the same pool of driving, but we're slightly different. Some drive fast, some drive slower, some drive cautious, some drive defensive. I'm more of a defensive driver's ed instructor. I will check and see if I got the email, and then I'll let you know. I think that as we continue to go forward, there's going to be more technology put into driver's ed because we cannot be forgotten. So those behaviors sometimes could cause us to get into a crash or get into an accident. Those behaviors sometimes could make us anxiety filled or stressful. I try to be neutral when I teach. I try to be open-minded because I'm not a robot, I'm a human. And I learn from my driving environment, and as I should. And good instructors get better. As car technology gets better, a driver needs to get better. A drag race. We're going from carburetors to fuel injection. There's fuel tech, there's Holly. There's some other systems out there. So if I want to be at the forefront, I need to get new technology. I need to get sensors. I was driving a 2023 Nissan. If a driver went off the road, the light on the dashboard would flash. And that was able to give me feedback that I could use for my student. I want to say thank you. I have a podcast. It's called Driving with Myles, MYLES. It's on Spotify. I think it would benefit you. I think it would help you. And I will check my email. I want to say thank you. Drive safely. Subscribe.